Believe we are back now. Obviously, we had a little bit of a hiccup there. Now, I promise you did not miss anything. We were in a pause the whole time. We just came into the pause now. It was just happened to be a coincidence right there. Not only was the server having some issues for Orange, but then all of a sudden our internet went out. So a little bit of a creepy coincidence there. In the meantime, in the middle lane, though, Draconis will fall. The ward trap was successful from Polywog Priest. So despite what Haxerin was saying in the pregame, sure enough, he does get a ward trap off, and down goes Draconis. So coming right out of the pause break there, Polywog Priest gets a big kill. On to Draconis, who I just talked about, having some pretty good farm this game, but that'll obviously slow him down a little bit. Meanwhile, at the top lane, nice job with the Arcane Shield by Moraxis. He took the W right there with the magic car from Myrmidon. Now in comes the Kelfield. There's a stop from Moraxis. Jesse with his ulti form, tearing out Myrmidon right there. Down goes Ophelia. Plague coming into the Plague ultimate's going to do a lot of damage right here. Passing between the creeps, as well as Moraxis does not get enough for a kill, though. Plague will end up falling, and everyone at Complexity ends up staying alive in the end. Wow. So coming out of the pause right there, crazy stuff happening, all in the favor of Complexity, it looked like.
That was just, they just ran over them. I don't know. I saw the tail end of it. All I know is that when you go in there and you miss your spells, like with the Weed Field and what have you, the turn potential, especially against a Bubbles, against a War Beast who has that level 6, is massive. And that Kelp Field is so good. I've talked about this over and over, but it always strikes me as a surprise because I don't catch it until I actually see it. But the Bubbles plus War Beast combination is so damn strong. Mm-hmm. It's very obvious. You hold him in place with the Kelp Field, War Beast just goes crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so strong, and this is looking yet again very, very good for Complexity.
Now, Warbeast did use his Whispering Helm. I wonder if he got killed there in the midst of that action, though, or if he just has it somewhere else. I'm trying to look around. I don't see any creep on the board, so I assume it actually might have just gotten killed. So a little bit
he had a
unfortunate
Minotaur
there. Did he? Okay, so that was his Minotaur then. I wasn't sure if it was the field. But anyways, in the meantime, Moraxis will get jumped on right here. But again, not nearly enough damage. He activates the ultimate, and down goes Myrmidon. There's that Minotaur. So he was just hiding right there with it. The Skeleton King also gets picked off.
He got a kill with it,
and
by the way.
They are going to run away. And yeah, Chessie did get credit for the kill right there. So the Whispering Helm already coming into play big time. Pebbles will say, "Get off me, bitch!" And he's going to try to maybe turn this around. He does have Stalagmites to use, actually. And Ophelia is also here, so will they go for killing Moraxis? The Saga of the Sea coming out. In comes Aluna. That Parathon just tears him a new one. So this is just crazy play all of a sudden. Coming up for Complexity. And look at Warbeast. Look at how fast that Minotaur is. You talked about that with the ulti form. Oh my gosh, just ridiculously fast. They're going to tear through the tower. And literally in the last minute and a half, this game has went from Orange and Complexity being a pretty even game to all of a sudden Complexity domination. Middle lane, Haxerin gets the kill on Draconis just before he goes down. And this push is going to continue here.
It's just looking horrible right now for Orange Esports. They simply don't have the levels now. Ophelia being level 4, Myrmidon being level 4, and you have massive levels on all of the heroes, really on Complexity's side. 12 minutes in, and already a 7,200 gold lead, 5K experience. This is snowballing out of control, quite frankly.
It seems like those disconnects right there just completely shifted the game for some reason. And I don't know if it like coming back, if they were lagging a little bit more or whatever. It just all of a sudden, though, as soon as they come back out of the pause again, like I said, 2 minutes later, really, the game is just 100% in favor of Complexity, and they're in such a big hole. So this is really dangerous all of a sudden for Orange Esports. I mean, they do have a Pebbles that is farming 275 gold per minute, and he is working towards eventually a portal. He is still not there just yet. You talked about earlier with the power supply into the Blood Chalice. He has a Steam Boot, so he's going the regen first and whatnot, but probably going to be Portal Key next in line. But, I mean, even Draconis really hasn't been having, I said earlier, I mean, he happened to be the top farm in the game, but it wasn't, like, taking off by any means. He wasn't really up there as just taking over the game as we see from time to time. He's going to do a stack right here himself and maybe start cleaning up the jungle a little bit, but, he's going to need some time, and you got to wonder if that's going to be the case here, or if Complexity is going to allow that with the success that they're having all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Now, actually in the middle lane, as again, another missed Weed Field, unfortunately. Aluna tries to do a red snipe. 2 of the Vulture Lords coming out from Mr. Ghost, but not really going to stop anything right there, or slow anybody down, I should say. But, yeah, this is what I talked about. Now, Myrmidon very strong, but has no stun, really, except for Pebbles to set up things for him.
Yeah.
And it's really, like, just seeing all these constant missed Weed Fields, it's not really his fault. It's just, it's hard to, it's very easy to dodge them. That's what I should say. And he has no stun to follow up on. So the hero is not going to be used to its full effectiveness, and already is just only level 4 at this part of the game. Just way too low. Has no boots yet. It's looking grim for him, especially.
Well, that's something I wanted to touch on too, and I even saw that. I didn't even really think of it initially, but I saw Beakit do it. Where you can use the Arcane Shield against the Magic Carp. And the Magic Carp is one of the easiest abilities to see coming at you. It's just a matter of stopping before it stuns you. And so if you're Moraxes, you're like, you know what, I'll take this. I'll just press W right before it hits me, and I'll just get a speed boost out of it. So you almost can't use it on a hero like Moraxes if that's the case. As we saw him do it earlier, and he just easily absorbed it. So that's just another unfortunate thing that Myrmidon has to deal with in this game. Mid lane, we do see initiation happening. The War Trap on to Plague. The tongue tag coming out. The Plague is going to bounce, but it only hits once. No bouncing happening. Polywalk Priest with the haste turn, able to run away. In fact, he's looking to turn this around now a little bit on Myrmidon. Just stands his ground, but Myrmidon just runs away himself. And in the meantime, back over here, Draconis now running for his life. The Minotaur War Beast with the ulti-form activated. Ophelia will drop. Haxford picks up a double tap when it's all said and done. And the tower is also going to fall. So I'll say, I mean, the Whispering Helm has honestly looked to be a pretty solid pickup here for Jesse. He also gets the tower kill. Myrmidon will fall. He took the stun out of the Kelp field, trying to get away, and he eventually falls from it. Complexity is dominating, and oh my god, a 15-minute concede I think just happened.
I think it just happened as well. And coming out from WTF of all people, too, the newest recruit. Recruit. I was sad there a little bit because one of the Minotaurs from Tessie that he took over did die.
I saw
that. A small victory.
Dedicated to the Minotaur that died in this game.
Small victory for ORGE Esports. But yeah, 15-minute concede, bam, right there. Again, I liked, in general, I liked Complexity's lineup much more that game. I thought ORGE Esports actually had a very, very fine lineup game 1. Yeah. But Complexity really just stomping them in that 15-minute concede game 2.
Wow. I mean, that kind of sucks because, you know, here we are, you know, looking at it was a very solid game 1 there from ORGE Esports. Like you said, it's just those, you kind of question what they were thinking there at times, like why weren't they playing more aggressive? And sure enough, in the end, Complexity was able to take advantage of that and then overwhelm them. But it was still a solid game, though. You know, game number 2, ORGE, again, they had their shining moments. They had the top 2 farmers in the game going up into the 10-minute mark, going up prior to that pause break there. So like I was saying, I mean, if anything, it should have been a fairly even game earlier on. But then all of a sudden, after the pause, I don't know if it was just mentality. I don't know if it just happened to be coincidence. But they come back from the pause after getting the DC issue figured out, and they just get rolled over. I mean, it was just all that action happened at the top lane, obviously Draconis and his situation in the middle lane, and it just completely started to fall apart. So, so that's why I said it sucks, because it's like I was hoping really for just an awesome game 2 here at the very least, but you know, just happened to be a 15-minute concede. But Complexity, this is Complexity after all, and it seems like we're saying this a lot lately, but it's almost expected now for them to just dominate so much as they have been lately. So ORGE Esports, they gave it a shot, but Complexity is just too powerful. And that means they're going to move on now to the winners bracket finals here, where they'll await the winner of the other series. So on that note, again, to take a quick look at the brackets, guys, we got Complexity currently in the winners finals. They'll play the winner of Trademark versus TT Esports, which, of course, that should also be an awesome, awesome series, and I can't wait to cover that. That will be taking place on Sunday. So at this point, guys, after this match today, we are actually going to be on a 2-day break here. There's going to be no matches on Hogcast or no matches from the tournament, so obviously that's why we're not casting anything. But on Sunday is when things will resume. We'll come back at you with Trademark versus TT Esports with our first matchup. That'll actually be at the initial time. That's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, 1800 Central European time, and then 15 versus Pikachu. They're going to play after that series at what is set to be 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European time. And, of course, the winner of that will then go on to play ORGE, and the loser will be officially done in this tournament. So there you can see a good visual there of how the brackets are shaping up and what they're looking like here for the DreamHoN Redemption Tournament. And it's definitely shaping up, to say the least. Every team still exists because of the double elimination format. But we are moving on now. We already have our first winners bracket finals team. Again, I can't say I'm too surprised, though. It happens to be Complexity here, Trev.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say before I was hopeful that we would have a good series here. I was hopeful that ORGE Esports, with the new addition of WTF to their roster, would have some more pizzazz, I want to say, in their lineup and just have a better chance of taking Complexity. But unfortunately, the matches today, Not really all that exciting, in my opinion. Now, with the matches upcoming, though, TDM taking
Yeah.
on TT Esports, those are both teams that have been practicing a lot, guys. They've been practicing a lot. They've been looking actually very, very good. That series in itself should be very fun. But the winner of that, taking on Complexity, I think that's when we're really going to start to get some of the best games in Han that we've seen for quite some time. So.
You know, to bring that up as well, again, why this event is so big, first it's over $10,000 in total that's involved. It's a $7,000 prize pool, but there's also that $4,000 travel stipend as well as the invite to DreamHack Winter 2012. Of course, Complexity, they already are invited from the DreamHoN Summer Championships, so they're not going to get that invite, but which other team is going to get it? And honestly, you know, from a personal point of view, I look at TDM and TT Esports. I think it could very likely be one of those two teams that is going to get that invite. And I think even the winner of this could ultimately be that team, setting themselves up in a pretty good spot. So that's why I really think that is such an important matchup, and it really should be an awesome series to watch. So I really can't wait to come back on Sunday to cover that one.
You know, the cool thing about that is, okay, the winner. Let's just say. Trademark or Trademark wins this next series over TT Esports.
So you see you want to win?
And well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just let's just hypothetically say Trademark beats TT Esports, and then they play Complexity in the winner bracket finals. If they beat Complexity, they're going to DreamHack because they've already qualified for the grand finals, right, for this tournament. And if Complexity, even if they win the whole thing, second place will get that road to DreamHack. So that's exciting in itself. If someone is able to take off the series over Complexity in the winner bracket finals, they go to DreamHack. So,
not technically.
No?
You're almost right. And that would be the case if Complexity did not rematch in the grand finals. If if Trademark won and got eventually to the grand finals, if TT Esports beat Complexity in the losers bracket and met them in the grand finals,
so the reason why I am
you just assume Complexity is going to be there. Exactly. You know, it's understandable.
I'm so sure that they're just going to win no matter what. I apologize.
I actually was on board with you, but then I thought about it. I'm like, actually, it's not quite right.
Complexity still can't lose. Can't they? No.
It is possible. They're not gods. I mean, they can lose. There is that chance. They've only lost one game in the last month and a half, but it is possible. So, but anyway, so those are kind of some fun scenarios there, to say the least. But again, so that series Sunday, guys, is when we're going to be coming back at you. That will be a doubleheader day, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European Time. Going to be a blast there. And I cannot wait to be back for that series. But that will pretty much wrap it up for today. I don't think there's too much else to talk about here. So, Tralf Mandor, you have any final words here?
GG, well played to Complexity. And I'm really looking forward to the series this weekend, guys. Sunday at, actually, I think our first cast is at 12. Is that correct?
12 Eastern for us, yeah.
Yeah, the first cast is at 12 Eastern time. That would be 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I want to say 1800 Central European time. Oh, I'm getting good at this.
You are.
So tune in for that, guys. It's going to be a doubleheader. Lots of fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to that, specifically the Trademark Esports versus TT Esports game.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So tune in then, guys. As far as everything else, that is going to wrap it up for today. So hopefully you guys enjoy your Thursday, the rest of Thursday that is left, and enjoy the initial part of the weekend all the way up until Sunday, of course, where we got some Honcast. So looking forward to you guys tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. It's going to be a blast on Sunday, guys. Tune in then. Until then, I was BreakingCBK. Joining me is Tralf Mandor. Follow me at BreakingCBK on Twitter. Follow him at TralfHon on Twitter. And then shout out to Killer Orange as well as always, our producer over there doing work behind the scenes. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you on Sunday.